how you doing? How have you been? If you're catching this, then you're welcome to this episode 2 of Starting Over with Labeams, aka The Soul Show. Yes, it's a moniker. SOWL. S is for starting, O is for over, W with L Labeams. So that's why it's called The Soul Show. So Starting Over with Labeams. Thank you so much for those that caught the last edition. Like I've been seeing, those of you that have subscribed, those of you that have watched and all of that, I really appreciate it. So many people have been sending me comments, like, oh, this is really going to impact them and all of that. And I'm super glad about it because that is the reason for this show. Starting Over with Labeams, I want to help you start over from my own place of experience. I don't want you to go through those negative things I went through. I just want to help you. And perchance you're going through it already. I want to just tell you that keep going. You're going to come out of it stronger with your head high up. And don't allow anybody pull you down because you have to start over. Trust me, a lot of people don't let you know what they are going through. They hide it behind so many things, but I'm not here to do that. I like to keep it real. I like to live my truth. And that is why I'm doing this show, Starting Over with Labeams. So last week, the episode 1 was just all over the place where I was just introducing myself and letting you know what the show was going to be about. So yes, my name is Labeams. For those that don't know me, I don't know how I'll keep saying introducing myself because I don't know, maybe you might be catching the second episode before the first episode or whatever. But my name is Labeams. I'm a single mom. I was in a domestically abusive marriage for 7 years. I've been divorced now for 16 years. I'm going to remarry by God's grace. Don't worry. That's going to be another episode. I have 2 adult children, 23 and 20. And I'm a marketing professional. I relocated to the UK, I think 4 years ago now, to the glory of God, to start over again. Hey, God, I beg. And this time around, I relocated in my mid-40s, now in my late 40s, and oh my God. So I'm giving you all of this information so that you know that I know what I'm talking about. If I'm saying something to you, then it is because I've walked that path or I'm walking that path and I can relate with you and encourage you to keep going. On this show, I'm going to talk about God a lot because the God factor has been part of what has been keeping me going and is still keeping me going to the glory of God. All right, so the first topic of the show, because last week was just introduction. Every week I'll be having different topics and then I'll now build on it. All right, so the first topic that God said I should talk about is the fear and shame of admitting failure. In the quest of starting over, now starting over could be in any area. It could be in your finances, it could be in your job, it could be in your career, it could be in your marriage, it could even be in a relationship, it could be in a friendship, it could be anything. You could start over. It could even be your religious life. Maybe you're not going to church before, you do not believe in God, and now you're starting over. Or maybe you used to know God, but something happened and then you fell off, and now you're starting. So it could be in any area, all right? But I'll always, explain which angle I'm coming from. So, but in all of these areas, this topic of today is like the bedrock, the fear and the shame of admitting failure. A lot of us don't want to start over because we don't want to admit that we failed. So we'd rather stay in that situation until, God forbid, death happens or something, something that is beyond your control happens. But why do you want to wait till that moment? Why do you want to wait till that moment? Why the fear? Why the shame? Fear, I saw this explanation or definition of fear so many years ago, and since that time, it's actually helped me. But they say FEAR is fear, right? A lot of, it's very good. All this, what do they call it now? Forgotten. It's not an acronym. Is it acronym? It's not an acronym. Is it acronym? I can't remember right now. Anyway, it will come to me. But FEAR, that's fear, is false evidence appearing real. False evidence appearing real. That's like a simple definition of what fear is. False evidence appearing real. The thing has not happened, but you are afraid that it will happen. Or you are thinking, if this thing happens like this, oh my God. And then because you are thinking, if this thing happens, you now start to build your life, your present life towards, if this thing happens, I don't want this thing to happen. I don't want this thing to happen. I've been reading the book of Job, and funny enough, Job, I've hated the book of Job for a long time until when I was faced with my challenges, which is about, how many years ago now? I'll say 20 something. Yeah, like 23 years ago now. When challenges just started eating me basketballs. That's when I realized that the book of Job, a lot of us don't like the book of Job because they're like, Job lost everything, and all of that. But we keep forgetting that God restored everything back to him 100-fold. But that is actually how the Christian walk is. And what happened to Job? The Bible records in the book of Job, I'm even reading it right now, that Job said, what I feared the most has happened to me. So that is what happens when you fear something so much, you attract it to you. For example, another case is an example I don't know, English is hard, but it's me. I remember so well because my mom is also a single mom. Yeah, she left my dad, and I think when I was 5 or 6, I can't remember right now again. But when I was growing up, it became a fear for me, a major fear. And I was like, God, I don't want to be a single mom. I don't want to be a single mom. I don't want to marry and divorce. I don't want to. That was it. And guess what? I attracted that to myself and ended up becoming a single mom, ended up being divorced. What am I trying to say? So I'm not saying you should not avoid things, negative things happening to you, but don't let it become something that becomes the main goal in life. You're waking up every day. God, I don't want to be divorced. God, I don't want to be. No. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't make you objective. You lose your objectivity as regards it. What am I talking about? The fear and the shame of admitting failure. Like I said, I'll be using a lot of my own personal experiences, right? I got married. I think I was part of the first group of people that got married amongst my friends. You have a group of friends, all of you are in maybe the same age range, give or take 2, 3, 4 years, like you guys are just all together and everything. So I was the first person in that group, not the first person, but I was among the first group of people that got married in my set. Do you understand? I think I got married in my early 20s and all. And then I wasn't just only getting married, I got pregnant before I got married. My God, don't do that. It's not a good one. It makes things tougher. So I was a mother before I now became a wife at that early age. And then I was just, confused. I just got married for marrying's sake. Not because I love the person I got married to, but just I was even tired of being alone. I was just like, well, and I shouldn't have been thinking like that. Do you understand? Because I was young. It wasn't like I was old and then I'll be like, I have to settle for less. No, of which you should not even have to settle for less. Do you understand? So I got married, yeah. And then when he started hitting me, and then the whole marriage was very, very horrible and everything, I couldn't even tell anybody, not even my own mother. Because why? The fear and the shame of admitting failure. Of saying, I missed it in this area. I messed up. I shouldn't have done this. So I sat in that marriage suffering all of the beating, the financial. It wasn't even just physical abuse. Like I said, financial abuse. I was one doing everything. Do you understand? Like I wasn't even complaining at that time because I believe look at my helpmates or everything. But when you're doing everything and then the person you're doing it for is not even appreciating you. Or is not even making an effort to try to support. That's where there's a problem. So, I was the one doing, I was just overwhelmed, but I did not want to admit that I had failed in that marriage rather. I don't want to admit that I had failed in, taking that step of getting married when I did and all of that. I wanted everybody to be feeling everything was okay. And that is the mistake a lot of us make. Those people that are saying, I don't want them to. At the end of the day, they are the ones that will still say, why didn't you leave? Because by the time I now eventually left and, I started talking eventually. And that's why I'm very vocal right now. Before I used to be very secretive. But now when I talk about some things, and the things I even talk about is just a quarter of things I've gone through. And there are things that God said I should talk about. If I talk about some things, you just be like, what? And this lady's always dancing up and down, making it, it is well, but for God. So these same people, I think I now left the marriage, I will now make people realize, I was in an abuse. And why did you stay? Why did you stay for so long? Yeah, 7 years, but it was 7 years was too long in my opinion. I don't even know how I did it. But what kept me there was the fear and the shame. I was afraid of, God, people would just be saying, this one, her mother left husband's house, she did this one, that one, that one. Like, people will always talk. You need to know this and know peace. People will always talk, whether good, whether bad. See, the same people that will praise you are the same people that will still drag you down. So just live your life JJ according to God. It even happened to Jesus Christ. All the people that were following Jesus Christ up and down, when Jesus Christ was doing the miracles, he fed them 5 loaves of bread and 2 fishes. He did another, so many miracles that the Bible records that Jesus did. But guess what? These same people were the ones that the Pharisees and the Sadducees still used to go and arrest Jesus, to nail him on the cross. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you need to try to overcome that fear and shame of admitting failure. See, failure is actually the road to success. I can say it now with my full chest that everything I went through, the divorce, I even lost a child. Hey, God. I lost a child, yeah. My last born is a twin. I was going to bring the picture when I was going to start, but I don't want to walk away and come back because that picture, that's the only picture I have of the two children, the twins, when I had them and all of that, I hang it every house I move to. Like I hold it's a reminder to me. Not because I want to keep mourning the child, but just a reminder that God has been faithful. I mean, a reminder of what I was able to overcome. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So the fear of what people will say, people will always talk. So please, you have to put that on one side. Then the fear of admitting failure, the fear or the shame, put it on one side. What is shame? Okay, so if people even talk, I say, hey, trust me, in a couple of days, something else is going to take over. Another news will happen, just like social media. Every week they're dragging somebody, one person or the other. Now I think it's Pella and something, like they are always dragging somebody. But they'll drag you, then the next news will come, they'll move to that person again, the next thing. So why are you wasting your time and your life bothering about these people? Bothering about what they think about you? Let them think what they want to think, because the truth is you cannot change anybody's mind about you. Especially the perception or the assumption they have about you. Assumption is the lowest form of knowledge. Agreed. But the truth is there's nothing you can say. People already have a perception about you. So if you are trying to, let me put it this way, 1 million people have a perception. Okay, 1 million is pushing it. Okay, 1,000, 100 people say, let's use this, have a perception about you. You now want to change that perception of those 100 people. How? The only thing I can advise you to do is live a life that is pleasing to God. Everybody will adjust. Live a life that is pleasing to God. All right? Impact lives positively, help in any way that you can, and just take life one day at a time. Don't try to be the be-all and end-all of everybody. You cannot serve everybody. You're not even called to everybody. That is the truth. Just like what I'm doing now, starting over with LaBeams and the Gospelation show, there'll be some people that'll be like, maybe they'll sit and swipe her. I'll be like, this one, she has started again. And I just swipe away. And then some people will be like, I'm glad that this lady is doing this. Oh, I am gain value from. That is it. Those are your people. So stop trying to impress anybody. Do you understand? At your own detriment. And that comes with the fear and the shame of failure. Don't say because I don't want them to know that this is what I don't want them to know. And so what if they know, uncle? What can they do? What can they do? What will they do? Okay, so they know. Is that the end of the world? No. See, God has said that, behold, all things will pass away and all things will become new. God has said that if you confess your sins, that he will forgive you and clean that slate, wipe it clean as if it never even happened. That is who you should be in awe of. That is who you should be afraid of. If you want to be afraid of anything, not any human being. So, with these few words of mine, I hope I've been able to convince you and not confuse you. With my own what I've worked on, my challenges as well. That look, fear and shame of failure, drop it on one side. If you fail, I think I sang it in that last episode. If at first you don't succeed, pick yourself up and try again. Pick yourself up. When I was a banker, I was damn good at being a banker. And I enjoyed it. Excuse me. Unfortunately, I had to start over again. I started over in something else, and I made sure that I did it with all diligence as well. Then another phase of my career, radio, I did it with all diligence as well. Now I think I'm doing marketing profession. I'm doing it with all diligence. See, whatever situation you find yourself in, do it with all diligence. All right, start over with your head high up. Drop that fear, drop that shame. Because if you dwell in it, you will not be able to move forward. Okay, please. I just want to beg you. That's what I'm doing with this show. I don't know. That's why God said I should start this show. Drop fear and shame of failure. Failure leads you to your success. If all these big companies start to tell you what they've gone through, even Coca-Cola, as big as they are, remember there was a time Coke tried to introduce a new flavor. They lost billions in that campaign because it didn't work. People did not like it. But are you not still drinking Coke? Well, even if you are not, if you are doing Fit Farm. A lot of people are still drinking Coke. Coke is still making their profit. Do you understand what I'm saying? But that period, people would have insulted them and say, Coca-Cola. People will always talk. Don't let people be your focus. Let God be your focus, okay? Whatever situation you are in right now, if you failed already, pick yourself up. Cry about it if you want to. What I'm saying, don't cry. They cry, you cry, but then you clean your face. You get up and say, God, all right, what next? And then God will go before you, behind you, and with you. And you'll be able to keep your head up. Okay? As long as there's life, there is hope. It is the truth. if I'd given up those years ago and say, because I was in a bad marriage, because I won't be here today. I won't be encouraging you today. Okay? So I want to say a very big thank you. I hope this has impacted. If you missed the first episode, scroll down on my YouTube channel, Labims TV, LABIMS letter TV. Catch the first episode and of course, share. Let people know about this, okay? All right, so I come your way again next week, God willing. Hey, thank you. Bye. My name remains Bimbo Olasokwe.